So, it's that time of the year again where Escape from Tarkov has finally wiped, and with that brings a whole host of brand new, eager-eyed new players that have seen some epic clips of Landmark taking out 4 stacks on customs and think that they can hop in and do the same, only to find that they have fired a whole 10-round mag of M855 at a Scav, and as their gun clicks empty and they're staring down the barrel of a Mosin, they realise that they're clutching at more straws than a scarecrow having a wank. Well, if that's you, then fear not, because I have 4 Escape from Tarkov tips and tricks for new players that should at least help you get off on the right foot. So, number 1, forget customs and learn woods. With the change in this latest patch, meaning that you no longer have to get your debut scav kills on customs, I personally believe that the best place for any new player to start in Escape from Tarkov is woods. Now look, I feel like I should just preface this a little bit by saying that woods is a great map for both loot and getting scav kills. However, the one thing that you might fall behind on is getting those PvP skills. However, if you just want to get to grips with the game, you want to make loads of money, and you want to get those scav kills out of the way early and in a safer environment. I say safer as a loose term here because God knows that nowhere in this godforsaken game is actually safe, but woods on the whole is a really good place for you to start. Now look, I do plan on making a woods loot run in the next couple of weeks, but for now let me just tell you that if you go on to Map Genie and you look for all the stashes, you'll be able to find at least some of them with some really good loot. And if you don't want to learn where the stashes are, there is loot literally scattered all over woods. If you stick to the northern region of woods, then you're less likely to run into as many players as you would, say, down by the lumber mill, and this means that you'll be able to get to grips with all of the mechanics of Escape from Tarkov whilst killing scavs and getting XP, as well as making some serious cash. So forget about customs for now and make sure that you learn this map and you seriously won't regret it. Okay, moving on. Number 2. Buy a Scav Junk Box as soon as you possibly can. Now I know what you're thinking, you're looking into therapists, fuck me eyes, and you're thinking, how the hell can I afford 1.1 million on a Scav Junk Box at this early stage? Now the thing is, this is actually relatively easy to do. After a few raids on woods or any map that you choose, and especially if you add in some Scav raids, you'll be able to sell enough barter items, food, and just general junk to quickly get you up to that magic number. A tip for making money quick when you're selling to traders is if you want to sell like a scav gun, for example, you can disassemble that gun and sell all the parts separately to mechanic to get that extra bit of cash. It will be worth more than the gun as a whole. Now, once you've got enough money for the Scav Junk Box, do not dilly-dally and buy that shit straight away, because this will mean you will have so much more space in your stash. Now for a lot of you new players, a lot of you, if not all of you, will be playing on a standard account, not an EOD account. This means that your stash space is already extremely small compared to other players, and you need to make the most of your stash space as possible. By getting the Scav Junk Box, what this means is that everything that you pick up in your next raids from say level 3 or 4 to level 15, you'll be able to stuff into that Scav Junk Box straight away and completely forget about it. The problem I had when I first started playing Escape from Tarkov was I didn't want to spend the money on the Scav Junk Box, and this meant that I had loads of barter items scattering my stash space, and 9 times out of 10 I'd get pissed off with it and end up selling them to traders. This can sometimes be okay because certain things like say toothpaste, for example, aren't going to sell for that much more on the flea as they are to the traders. However, some things are going to sell for considerably more money once you get the flea unlocked. Not only that, but there's a lot of things that you'll be picking up that you just don't know what they are. If you keep them hid away in your Scav Junk Box, you won't be tempted to sell them, and you never know, you might need them for later quests or hideout upgrades. Number 3. Slow it down and don't get greedy. The whole point of this tip that I want to give to you guys right now is that you do not have to be charging around full sprint, shift W everywhere you go. Sometimes it's better to just take your time and sneak around the map, because you have so much time to get out of the map, and by doing so you're not going to be giving away your position to enemies. Audio in this game is such a huge thing, and for well-seasoned Tarkov players, the pitter-patter of your stomping shoes coming from over the brow of the hill will be enough to tell them where they need to reposition to so that they can easily get the drop on you, and this will lead to so many frustrating deaths where you won't have a clue that a player is even waiting for you. If if you slow down and walk, this means that they're not going to be able to get this information on you, and you might even be able to hear them first. Another side tip to this is always wear a headset. A headset is one of the most important bits of your gear set that you can take out with you. Arguably, if you had to make the choice between a headset and a helmet, I would say go for the headset 9 times out of 10, because having that audio and that extra information is honestly invaluable. Now, in addition to this, the reason that I'm telling you guys not to get greedy is because you need to get out of these raids alive for anything to count, really. If you keep going in and say getting 2 or 3 player kills with 5 scav kills and then you die every raid because you're running around like a headless chicken, or you just have to go and search that last little crate for that last little bit of loot, then you're not going to be getting out with anywhere near as much as you should be. If you slow it down, make sure you fill up a backpack and then try and get to your extract every raid, then I promise you, you will find this game a lot more rewarding and a lot better of an experience, because all of a sudden you'll have a lot of different barter items, you'll have a lot of money, and also you'll be getting extra XP. So slow it down, take the small wins where you can, and play safer than wearing a helmet on a peloton. And finally, number 4 is don't be a cheapskate. Sure, running around with a double-barreled shotgun might sound like a good idea when you can buy it for only like 8,000 rubles. However, if you have, say, 200 grand's worth of stuff in your backpack and you fire those 2 shotgun shells and then you die, well, guess what? You no longer have that loot in your backpack, and now that 8 grand shotgun has now cost you 208,000 rubles instead. On a similar note, don't always just go out with no armor or just a packer. If you have that rat rig that you pulled off the Scav 3 raids ago sat in your stash, fucking use it. In about a week's time, level 4 armor is going to be about as common as latte art on a white girl's Instagram. Fair enough if you don't want to use that slick that you pulled out of a stash, but if you're finding level 4 armor, use it. Use the best gear that you are comfortable losing, because at the end of the day, the better gear that you have, the better your chances of survival. And that about sums it up for these 4 Escape from Tarkov tips for brand new players to the game. I really hope that at least one of them has helped you. Now, obviously, if you're a veteran at Escape from Tarkov, then this video might not be for you. But if that's the case and you're still here at this point in the video, I'd like to thank you for sticking around anyway. You're a real pal. Now, for those of you who have watched my content for a while, you'll know that I love to see who sticks around until the end. So if you're still here, I'd like you to let me know by answering this question down in the comments. Would you rather your arms were twice as long as they are now, or would you rather your legs were twice as long as they are now? Anyway, that's it from me today. I'm Average Joel. Peace.